That's the lesson that you take from this. Don't ever, ever, ever give up on someone.
When it comes down to it, it's a very difficult sport.
I enjoy the people that are here.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Welcome to Community Closeup. I'm Joe Nelson. Today we find out how young readers are getting help from hairy listeners. We find out what it takes to become an executive chef, and we'll even show you how to make some new easy dishes at home. But first, a new addition to a family can be an exciting time, but it's not always easy for a child learning to share space, toys, and attention. We met a Blaine family who found guidance in keeping their daughter involved and prepared for her future siblings' arrival.
We're gonna have a baby sister.
Did you want a little brother?
Things are about to change for 3-year-old Caitlin Marks with a new member of the family on the way.
She's had a lot of questions, and it kind of varies. The first question she had is, how did they get the baby out? So that's been an interesting discussion.
Straight there.
Can we bring the baby home sooner?
Are you excited? Knowing life as an only child, both she and her mom and dad, Heather and Steve Marks of Blaine, say they don't know exactly what challenges they might face.
I'm an only child, so all of this is going to be new to me.
Obviously, there's a little level of fear, or not knowing what to expect. I mean, obviously with one, but what happens when the second one comes by? But then again, it's going back to, it's been so long since we've, dealt with all the other stuff. It's relearning for us.
But still, Heather and Steve say they feel more prepared this time around.
I feel like we know what we're getting ourselves into this time. We know a bit of what to expect with a newborn. We want to be real careful and make sure that, for me, everything at work is wrapped up and that all of Caitlin's questions are answered. We've found with her that the more information we give to her ahead of time and the more questions she can ask, the smoother it goes.
To make that happen, they sought out an expert.
Hi, Anna. How old are you? And you're 4.
Stephanie Garrets is a parent educator at Centennial Schools and Mercy Hospital, teaching expecting moms and dads about feeding, changing, and anything else they'll need to know about babies. But about once a month, she meets with future big sisters and big brothers to explain what's happening and how they can help.
So baby gets everything it needs to eat and breathe through the umbilical cord. There can be a lot of negativity about siblings. Oh, you're having a baby and you're gonna have to share your toys. And I really try to switch that and try to make it like, this is a wonderful thing. This is a wonderful gift for you that, you'll have the sibling for life and you'll always have a friend in that. Are you taking out clothes you wore when you were a baby?
While most of her primary audience is under 4 feet tall, she says she hopes parents learn or remember a few things too.
One of my favorite things is when the parents come in, they see how little the diapers are and they look at their other child and they're like, oh my goodness, like, they used to fit into this diaper and how time flies.
What she preaches, she practices. Again and again. And again.
I'm a mom of going on 9 children, and so sometimes the parents really appreciate that I've been through this, and I've had a lot of families say, well, if you can do it 9 times, I can do it 1 time, so I try to pull some from my personal experience, but at the end of the day, they're not here to hear about my experiences. They're here to hear about the research and what that says too.
With another baby on the way, she shared tips for families with 3 or more kids in the house.
I always try to think of, okay, what's the youngest child that can get me a diaper? So I'm not going to ask my 13-year-old because my 2-year-old can do that and then feel part of that process. And of course, when he or she brings me the diaper, then it's like, oh, your baby, the baby thanks you for that, or look at the baby smiling, he's so happy you did that for them. And I really try to encourage parents to do the same.
Caitlin learned how to change
A diaper.
and has more activities planned for her new sister.
I'm gonna teach her the
We wanted her to be able to obviously learn a little bit more, so obviously see some of the things they presented in the video, so know that she's not just being cast aside, because we know that she's at the age where she can be a good helper and she can do things. She can play with the baby, she can help feed the baby when she's a little bit older, and she's at the right age where she's ready to soak in that knowledge.
Heather and Steve say they hope the lessons taught here at Mercy Hospital won't be forgotten when they leave the building.
Even as adults, we learn little things here and there, but I think it was really good for her because I think even right now where she's fairly quiet, I think it'll really help and she'll start asking more questions once we get away from the class.
I really liked the details that we were able to give to her. You know, just little things like the clip on the umbilical cord. I think that's going to be really helpful because then she's not going to be scared of that.
And put a clamp on the belly button and they cut the cord, and that doesn't hurt the baby or the mama at all.
To see the nurse's station upstairs so she can see who's going to be helping in the process. Just small details like that I know are going to be really reassuring to her. You know, when we go through this whole labor and delivery process, because that's going to go by very quickly. And the more she knows what to expect, I know the more comfort that she'll find in it. So I thought it was fabulous.
One thing they're not looking forward to:
Sleepless nights.
Yeah, we're just bracing
yes.
for the sleepless nights again. I think if we can get through that, we'll be fine. We don't have a name quite picked out yet. Caitlin has her ideas. It's been Sissy and
Bow tie.
Bow tie.
Yeah.
So we've really run the gamut. She is so excited. I mean, there hasn't been one time that we've talked about it where she's been anything other than really positive going into it, and I'm thrilled for her that that's the case. You know, I know that those days will come when she's a little bit frustrated with everything, but just to see her genuine affection and her genuine excitement going into all of this. I mean, she couldn't love her sister more already. So, you know, to me, that's pretty awesome.
It's been a busy few months since Caitlin took that class in early November.
Caitlin's birthday comes up, and then Thanksgiving, and then we've got holidays at the end of the year, and you know, for me to figure out how to do all that and still, you know, wrap things up at work because I'll be taking 12 weeks off. So putting all of that together, it's just good for me to stay busy, and I'm excited about that. And then it'll be very, very nice to just take a break when she gets here.
On January 6th at 12:56 p.m., Kara Marks entered the world.
We have a new member of our family. This is Kara.
When the now 4-year-old Caitlin met her new sister,
She was sleeping.
It was very cute. She, my parents had come up and they were staying with her. I was induced, and so it was all very controlled and very scheduled, so that was lovely. And they came at about 7 o'clock that night, and Caitlin walked in the room and saw Kara and said, "Can I hold her, please?" There was no "Hi, Mom," "Hi, Dad." It was just the instant, "Can I hold her, please?"
Heather says things were easier the second time around.
Everything went more smoothly. We knew what to expect, so that was helpful. We were home in just about 24 hours, so it was just a quick trip to the hospital, and we brought Kara home, and it's been great. She's following in her sister's footsteps, and she's a really good baby, so we've been very fortunate with that so far.
Since they got home, Caitlin's been busy helping
Change the diapers and help Mom and Daddy and make sure Sissy's happy. Because I like when she's happy, baby.
If we need her to run and get something, man, those little feet come in handy. There are a lot of times during the day when I'm home that I was wishing Caitlin was with me because she's incredibly helpful, and there are times when we just have to let her know that she's off duty too, that she can just go relax and play and be a kid. So she's been just an amazing big sister so far.
And from the new brother, new sister class where
You learn how to be a big sister.
she remembered.
Playing on the diaper and seeing like the slideshow.
Is that how you learned how to do it?
Yeah.
There's a few little things, you know, whether it was the holding of the baby, the correct way, that just kind of stuck in her mind.
As we got closer to my due date, there were more questions from Caitlin about how is the baby going to get here and what she could expect as far as right after when we brought Kara home. So we were glad to have the class just to give us a few simple ways to answer her questions without getting into too much detail. So that was very helpful. The big takeaway that I've had from the class is just to keep the lines of communication with Caitlin open so that when she has questions or when she has frustrations, she knows how to express those to us, and she, can still feel like the really important member of the family that she is. It gave us some tools to take forward so that we can make sure that the relationship between Kara and Caitlin is good from the beginning, and it gave us some more immediate answers as far as how to help Caitlin deal with any questions she might have. So yeah, it was a great class to take. We're very glad we did.
Caitlin says she's excited to see Kara grow so they can start
Play games and help her ride her bike. Because I like riding my bike and then she'll like riding her bike.
And she can't wait to bring her sister to daycare.
Because I like my sister, and her name's Kara, and she's really cute. And when she comes to school, all the kids will like her. Because she's my best baby ever.
Mercy Hospital offers the New Brother, New Sister class every other month for $30. The next class is Saturday, March 26th. For more information, head to their website. Still to come, how retrievers are helping readers at an Anoka library. Stay with us.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Anoka County Library's mission statement is to connect ideas, information, and inspiration. One of those ideas to inspire young readers offers a crowd that may be the same age but has bigger ears and wet noses.
We have to go up here.
Rum River Library of Anoka is a place for people of all ages to read their favorite stories and to find new ones.
Henry and Mug and the Wild Goose Chase is about when they go to a farm, they see all these farm animals, and then they get chased by a goose. Skippy John Jones went to school. He's a cat, and it was a school full of dogs.
Our main goal is to create a welcoming atmosphere for kids to read.
But one Saturday every other month, the reading audience has bigger teeth and more legs, leaving slobber and hair on both readers and other listeners.
Today is Read to a Dog.
Before they could be in the library, these dogs had to pass the test.
They're all certified therapy dogs, so they've been through the training and gotten their certifications, and then they're ready to come read.
Getting certified is no walk in the park.
First, you have to do all your obedience training and pass it, and then you can move on to work on the Good Citizens Award. And then after you pass that, then you can move on to the therapy classes. And at the end of that, an outside evaluator comes in and tests you and your dog to see your relationship and put him through the test to see if he complies with everything.
Retired professor turned dog trainer Joan Blaska put her golden doodle Brewster through the process about 7 years ago.
He started out so rambunctious, and he is well loved where we go. And he's come so far, and he really, he's just so good. He does exactly, I put the bandana on, and he knows we're going to work.
So they go through training, I think, for behavioral and temperament, and then they just are really kind and gentle with the children, and I think it helps in a lot of ways. Some kids are afraid of dogs, so this is a really good way to acclimate them to dogs that are going to be really approachable. And then it's really fun for us to have different sizes and different breeds, and they're very receptive to children. They sit well, they listen, and they just engage at a really low-key level with the kids.
With lots of books and a few barks, school-age kids sign up for 15-minute time slots to tell tales in a comfortable place.
The dogs are non-judgmental, and so kids open up and read that maybe they wouldn't read in front of a class. The more fun reading experiences they have increases the probability that they'll be readers.
Just like the stories told, the dogs are full of surprises.
We did have a Rottweiler that was very friendly, and he actually put his paw directly over the book. So the boy thought it was very funny that he couldn't keep reading because the paw was in the way.
Arthur, a golden retriever, showed his appreciation to 8-year-old reader Carly Ahlstrom of Andover.
Well, he was doing it when I was trying to read, so a tent full of panic pooped out of the It was kind of like over and over.
They're excited through and through. When they sign up, they're really excited to come later on, and then when they see their dog, sometimes we talk ahead of time about what size they want to read to, and they get to pick. And then afterwards, they just think it's really cool.
Do you think he liked the book?
I don't know. He wasn't paying attention. And you hear a lot of good stories. She said, great, said Henry.
Carly's brother Eli says he liked his furry listener.
He was cute.
The 7-year-old says he enjoyed reading to Vinny, the French bulldog.
Because he doesn't bark.
And he'd like to do it again.
Because they listen and they don't run around everywhere and don't bark.
It just was really fun, and I liked, they're sometimes better listeners than my brothers are. A grand old bunch of potatoes.
And it's not just the kids who enjoy pairing pets and paperbacks.
When you do pet therapy with your dog, whom you love dearly, every time they work a miracle. I just have goosebumps all over. And most of the times driving home, thinking about what he has done, I just get to be here. I am just so proud of him.
Here, what is that?
Dog, it's like...
Those are doggies just like Brewster.
4 children were allowed to get dogs after they interacted with him at preschool classes. And they read to him too at the preschool classes. And one little boy was so frightened of dogs, it took him a half hour to get over to him. And a year later, when I went back to visit, I go once a year, he had a dog, and it was because of Brewster. See my smile? That's how happy it makes me.
It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite days. It's really great to talk to parents with beginning readers or struggling readers because they need a lot of resources. If they don't enjoy reading, if they're putting a lot of pressure on themselves, this is a way where they can sit and read in an environment where they're not going to be corrected, it's not stressful, it's okay to make mistakes. So parents and kids alike are really excited to hear about it.
Looks good, 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 good.
You know, if you help one child today, you're working in the right direction.
Paw Patrol way.
Very good.
Wow.
Good job, Olaf. Yay!
We really want to instill lifelong learners, and we really want to create that excitement about reading because we read for the rest of our lives, and we want to show that we read for school and education, but also for fun. So there are ways to read. Read to a Dog has a lot of professional goals behind it, but then it is also just fun. It's fun to sit and read to an animal, and then we hope to kind of get the community coming back to the library for events and books as well, just to create a lifelong partnership with everyone.
It's really fun, and you can do things in the book that sometimes you can't do in real life.
The dogs do work magic.
Rum River Library is hosting a Read to a Rabbit event on March 1st and another Read to a Dog session on March 26th. For more information, call or stop by the library or visit their website. Up next, we head to the kitchen to meet 2 new chefs, and one has local ties. They will show us how to prepare a delicious dish in under 10 minutes. Stay with us.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. Constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave. Okay, but remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
A new and unique dining experience has come to Bunker Hills Golf Club. Kendall's Tavern and Chophouse opened its doors to the public last October. Community Closeup's Jordan Ryland sat down with the executive head chef at Kendall's, where she learned how a passion for cooking began at a very young age.
We're going to take some heavy cream that's been reduced.
For Audrey Hermansen, a passion for cooking all started with Jell-O.
My grandma was really a big influence on getting me into cooking. The first thing I remember making with her was the Jell-O salad, where you put the fruit cocktail in it, and I was 4 years old and I was just blown away that this fruit was suspended in Jell-O and how it happened. Simplest little thing, but that was the, I want to do this. This is the route I want to go down.
Audrey was a member of 4-H, growing up on a dairy farm in Luck, Wisconsin. At the Hermansen farm, food wasn't just food. It was a family affair.
I've always loved cooking, grew up on the farm, and so it was always about family meals. We never had lunch. We had breakfast, dinner, and supper. So lunch never existed in our household growing up.
Hailing from the land of cheese, Audrey was quick to include her state staple on the menu at Kendall's.
One of the things that we knew we had to have on the menu were cheese curds, and so myself and Adam Drosky, who you'll talk with here in a little bit, we went through 6, 7, 8 different types of cheese curds to make.
After spending years working in restaurants as a hostess, waitress, line cook, and manager, Audrey has landed right where she's always wanted to be, the executive chef of an up-and-coming restaurant, one that she helped craft from its inception when she was hired in June of 2015. Audrey has had a hand in every aspect of Kendall's launch, from the front of the house to the back.
It really makes me appreciate everything that's happening now because of all that back building.
Audrey's chef de cuisine is a Coon Rapids native. Adam Drosky has lived in Coon Rapids since he was 8 years old. After teaching himself how to cook and working his way up the industry ladder, he ended up coming back home.
I've always kind of had a feeling that I was going to end up back here because we live so close. We live about 1.5 miles away. So every time we would come in, I kind of dreamed a little bit about, coming back and what it would be like.
Adam is a self-taught chef, having worked in restaurants in Blaine, Edina, and Uptown. Like Audrey, Adam began his career humbly, washing dishes at the age of 14. But now he's fulfilling his lifelong dream.
It's something I wanted to do ever since I was 5. My dad still has the kindergarten crayon written thing of what do you want to do when you grow up, and said I wanted to cook.
What had been known simply as the Bar and Grill at Bunker Hills now had a new concept, a new menu, and new staff. So it was time for a new name, and Adam used his knowledge of the area to pitch an idea.
It's the name of the original owner. He farmed the land with his family for over 100 years, Kendall Bunker. So they named the golf course Bunker Hills, and we thought it would be good to tie it in with his first name, called Kendalls.
A tavern and Chophouse, Kendall's wanted to offer something Coon Rapids was missing, specifically a wood-fired grill for steak, chicken, and fish. For Adam, Kendall's is more than just a place to work. It's a place to call home.
You'll see a familiar face at the bar that you didn't really recognize from this atmosphere, so it's really cool to see, someone's your daughter's teacher or your neighbor or something like that.
For Community Closeup, I'm Jordan Rylance.
Coming up after the break, the Kendall's executive chef will teach us how to make one of the restaurant's signature dishes. Stay with us.
You need to survive much more than the cold to be a polar bear plunger. It takes courage. There are no princesses here. Each year, these winter warriors jump to frozen glory to raise money for Special Olympics Minnesota. And with a host of locations statewide, you're never far from a polar bear plunge in your area. Join us. The many, the freezing, the polar bear plungers.
One of Kendall's premier dishes is Rotisserie Chicken Rigatoni. Kendall's executive chef Audrey Hermansen shows us how to prepare this easy and delicious meal right at home.
All right, so what we're going to make is our Rotisserie Chicken Rigatoni. It is one of our menu items here at Kendall's. It's a dish that was on previous menus, and we kind of revitalized it like we did with a lot of our other menu items going into the branding of Kendall's. So to start out, you're going to put oil in the bottom of the pan. Make sure your pan is warm. It's going to go a little bit quicker. A lot of the things too, especially with the pasta and the chicken, if you are strapped for time the day you're making it, you can get things made the day before. So you're going to want to get your oil hot. We're going to put some garlic in. You don't want to let the garlic brown. Once it gets brown, it's going to get a little bit bitter. So you just want to cook it until it starts to soften. At that point, we're going to add our mushrooms. Today we're using oyster mushrooms that have been roasted with some parsley, salt, and pepper on them. We're going to add in our spinach, which is just fresh spinach that I roughly chopped. We're going to add in our pulled chicken. This is our rotisserie chicken that we cook in-house fresh every day. If you don't have rotisserie chicken at home, you can either buy it at the store or you can get chicken breasts, roast them and pull those. But it's always best to make sure that with this dish you're using a cooked chicken and not cooking raw chicken. It'll change the flavor a little bit and also take a little bit longer. So this is something, again, made to be quick throw together at home. Next, we're going to take some heavy cream that's been reduced. and then some fresh chopped thyme. And then we have our rigatoni noodles that we pre-cooked to al dente. And we're gonna let those heat up and let them reduce, let the cream reduce and let the noodles finish cooking in it. And we're gonna finish it off with some Parmesan cheese. Whoop, lost a guy, man down. All right, so once your sauce is sticking to the noodles and reduced down, you don't want it too soppy wet, just nice and coated. We'll grab our pasta bowl and transfer it in. And then finish it with just a little bit more Parmesan cheese. And that is the Rotisserie Chicken Rigatoni.
If you're interested in trying this dish, we've posted the recipe and cooking instructions for the Rotisserie Chicken Rigatoni on our website. Thanks for watching Community Close-Up. I'm Joe Nelson. We'll see you next month.